Hello, I'm Shankar from IEEE. Next video on CISSP asset security, the domain 2. Intellectual property rights, okay, IPR. Intellectual property, okay, it's intangible, okay, that's something in the intellect, okay. So, in fact, I used to tell all my students, okay, all the tangible property can be stolen, but the only property that cannot be stolen is your intangible property, your competency, your knowledge, your experience. Everything is very unique. Okay. In fact, there is a old saying in Tamil. Okay, if you're a king, then okay, you will be respected only in your kingdom. But if you're a learned, okay, you will be respected all around the globe. Okay, wherever you go, okay, you're respected. That is the asset. Okay. Now the intellectual property. Okay, you have an idea and you want to actually implement it. Now, it could lead to millions and millions of dollars in revenue. But how can you actually secure it? That's what the intellectual property rights. It is a right that you have for your intellectual property. Okay. So there are a lot of there are a few IPRs that we are actually going to see. Okay. First thing that we are going to have a look at is the trademark. Okay. Trademark is actually a symbol. If you register the symbol, okay, every country has got your own trademark and patent office. You go to the trademark and patent office and you register the symbol, that is actually called as a registered trademark. Registered trademark will have a superscript of R with a circle on the top. Okay, and if it's unregistered trademark, then you have TM. Okay, that is something that you can actually use. But when you have an superscript of an R within the circle, that is something that you cannot use. Okay, there's a registered trademark and unregistered trademark. Patents are the exclusive rights for the inventors. Okay, for the creation. In fact, we all know. Okay, the legal battle between Apple and Samsung. Okay, but again, I'm not here to compare both and who won, who lost, and etc. But again, okay, so there are a lot of things that actually happen in the world. A lot of cyber crime cases that also happen because of typo squatting. Now, what is the typo squatting? It sounds the same, but the spelling is different. Okay. In fact, Citibank, we all know Citibank is CITI Bank. When I was delivering CISSP training for Bangladesh government, they had a bank called CITY, Citibank. Okay. They both are Citibank, but this one is reddish, that one is bluish. The American Citibank is bluish, but the Bangladesh Citibank is reddish. Okay, CITY Bank. It is okay. So the patents are something which is the rights for you to secure your invention. Okay, copyright. Copyright is to prevent the reproducibility in any form. Usually, it is for the books and the music. Okay, what all been expression. Okay, so there's a restriction on somebody actually stealing it. In US, okay, the copyright is for 70 years. Okay, and for an individual, and 70 years after the death of an author, and the corporates, okay, it's 50 years more, 120 years, or after the creation of 95 years plus 25 after the first publication. Now, the difference between US and Europe, okay, Europe doesn't have this, okay, this, when I say Europe doesn't have the corporate, okay, copyright law. It is 70 years for everything, but, in fact, the classic cases of the Popeyes, the inventor, okay, it's available in the public domain now, okay. So the other thing that we need to understand the copyright is doctrine of the first sale and the fair use. What is the doctrine of the first sale? It is like this. Now I buy a car, okay, and I use it for 10 years. I want to sell it. So like second-hand car. So I buy a book directly from Amazon, okay. I use it. I'm done with it, okay. I'm going to sell it, okay, on Amazon itself. I'm going to sell it to somebody else. That's my right. It's called the doctrine of the first sale. What is the doctrine of the fair use? Assume that I'm working for a newspaper company. Okay, and the author is submitting a book for me to review. Okay, and then write a good review about the book on the on the newspaper. Let's say on Saturday or Sunday or Friday as a part of the supplement. This is actually called as the doctrine of the fair use. I can get the book. I can read through it. I can write a review. Everything stops right there. Okay, I cannot sell it or I cannot misuse what has been given to me. That is actually called as a doctrine of the fair use. And there are a lot of other examples also available. For example, the journalist is shooting a particular incident in a locality, and behind the scene, there could be shops, an ice cream parlor, whatever it is. Okay, we are not actually promoting it, but we still cannot avoid it. That's actually called as a fair use doctrine of the fair use. Licensing. There are a lot of different types of licensing. Proprietary licensing, you have to pay for it. Okay, and then you have to start using it. Okay, license is contract for using the application. Open source licensing is free to distribute. Okay, that allows user to modify, view, and distribute the source code. Okay, that's actually called open source licensing. Open source licensing, okay, paved the way for veritable wraparounds. Okay, so you have an open source application, and people pick it up and they wrap around with their own proprietary code and they actually sell it. Okay, in open source licensing, that is actually allowed. But in freeware licensing, it cannot be freeware licensing. You are given only the application to use. Okay, the source code is not with you. Okay, even if that there with you, then you cannot modify and redistribute. All these things are not actually allowed in the freeware licensing. The shareware licensing, you have the product with you. Again, you can use it for, let's say, 30 days as a trial version, 15 days as a trial version. Then you have to make a payment for using it. Okay, that's actually called as shareware. Public domain licensing. Works in public domain are not protected by copyright and can be freely distributed without any licensing restriction. Okay, that's something which is allowed for everybody to use. And additionally, you have something called as a crippleware. Because I use the burp speed for doing the web penetration testing. If you look at the burp speed, 90% of the product is actually is available for me without buying it. Okay, but if you want to do an scan, etc., okay, the tools which require special authority, then I need to pay for the licensing. I think now it's $500, I guess. Okay, those type of tools, this type of restriction or licensing is actually called the crippleware. You are almost entitled to use the complete product, but the privileged specialities are available to you. Okay, when you pay for the licensing. Last one is the trade secret. Trade secret is the intellectual property that comes with confidential information, which is not generally known to the public. Coca-Cola's recipe is a trade secret. How the organization works, okay, let's say the product line, the ingredients of a product it is the trade secret. In fact, every popular example again is the KFC's. I think 11 or 12 ingredient sauce that was developed by the colonel. Okay, so he's a veteran. So he actually developed it, and that's what the vegetable base with the KFC. Same thing holds good for McDonald's or in a Burger King or any normal restaurant. Okay, the recipe is something which they are going to hold a secret. In fact, I watch Chef Dina's kitchen. Okay, so he travels across to various places and he speaks to the popular chef and he asks for the ingredients. Okay, from that, so they actually share it. Okay, they will not be sharing all the ingredients that they have for the restaurant, but they share it. Okay, now trade secret is a veritable secret formula of something. Okay, like pharmaceutical company could also have a trade secret. Okay, so to qualify as a trade secret, it should not be generally known. It should have a commercial value. Okay, only then is worth actually protecting it. Reasonable efforts to maintain secrecy, okay, must be done by the owner of the trade secret. Owner of the trade secret. Okay. So this is all for your CISSP dosage for today on the domain 2 asset security. My name is Subramaniam Shankaran from IEEE. If you're interested to clear your CISSP examination with a continuous training full-fledged on the first attempt, contact me on training at IEEE.org.uk, or you can WhatsApp me on +91 99405 87544. Cheers and good luck. Bye.